Hello and welcome back for day 13. This week, we are on week 2 actually of our 40-day journey or 6-week journey. And this week, we are talking about the fact that we were planned for God's pleasure through worship. So today, our topic is entitled Worship That Pleases God. Mark 12:30 says, Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. Hebrews 12:28. Let us be grateful and worship God in a way that will please Him. The kind of worship that pleases God has 4 characteristics. The first of which is it is accurate. John 4:23, Jesus was speaking here and he said, True worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers that the Father seeks. So he wants you to be true and to have a right spirit when you're worshiping God. Number 2, it is authentic. 1 Samuel 16:7 tells us that man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. John 4:23, the Message version says, that's the kind of people the Father is out looking for. Those who are simply and honestly themselves before Him in worship. Number 3, it is thoughtful. Everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way, as told in 1 Corinthians 14:40. In another verse, 1 Corinthians 14:16-17 says, Suppose some strangers are in your worship service. When you're praising God with your spirit, if they don't understand you, how will they know to say amen? You may be worshiping God in a wonderful way, but no one else will be helped. So be conscious of your worship and who's around observing you. Worship can be done many different ways. Actually, our 4th point is that it is practical. Romans 12:1 says, Offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship, or another version says, holy and acceptable, and this is your reasonable worship unto God. All right, so to wrap up our quick lesson for today, worship that pleases God is one of 4 things. It's accurate, which means you're speaking back to Him the truth, that you're telling Him how you really feel, and that you're using the truth of God. The second thing is to be authentic. We must learn, it must be from your heart. God doesn't want performative things. He doesn't just want you to do what you see other people doing. That's one way to learn, but don't stick so close to a pattern that you can't do what's true from you. Just be authentic. It must be thoughtful, decent, and in order. We're not crazy people, Christians. You don't want to be, acting out in public and people think you're nuts. That doesn't honor God. That doesn't bring Him glory. So be thoughtful, be decent and in order, and do your worship practically in the everyday things. So it's not just only in church with your hands raised or crying or however you choose to express worship. It's in the day-to-day activities that you have. Your whole body should be a living sacrifice of worship unto God. So know that it doesn't have to look a certain way. As you honor God and as you think about Him, you'll begin to worship. You'll begin to understand what worship looks like for you. As long as it's all those 4 things, however it looks is completely fine. It's accurate, it's authentic, you're being thoughtful, and you're being practical with how you choose to worship Him through your life, with the things that you have, with your body, with your gifts, and everything else that you have. All right, guys, so that's it. It was short today. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great Saturday. Love y'all. Like and share if this blessed you. All right, y'all have a great one.